I'm here with Gilbert Burns. First off, thank you for making the time for me.
Yeah.
Legend of the sport. I've been a fan of yours for quite some time. I've been watching you since your run as well at welterweight, your first run.
Yeah.
You remember this when you came in?
Sure.
I think the first fight was against the Russian.
Yes.
And then you came up, fight against Damian Maia.
Yes.
Woodley.
Yeah, Gunnar Nelson.
That was nice fights. How do you look back on this period you were in?
I like it. There was a couple of opportunities that came. I was just move up. I was lightweight. I was killing myself making weight, and I decided to move up. And when I make that decision, it was one of the best decisions that I make in my career. And I was easy training. I was not killing myself with the weight cut. I was kind of burnt out at that moment because I was training so much. I couldn't show the fighter that I was, and I was cutting weight. And sometimes I had a good performance, sometimes bad performance. And when I decided to move up, that was one of the best things that I did. And then I got a very tough Russian on that first fight. Beat him in a short notice, like 10 days, and then
undefeated as well, right?
He was undefeated, 18, 20 and 0,
20
18
and 0,
and 0,
I think
something like that. Very tough. Beat this guy, and then got back to training. I like it to get the fight on short notice. In maybe a month and a half or so, it was another opportunity to fight in short notice. Was Gunnar Nelson, was he in Europe, he was in Denmark. I beat him, and then after that, I was ranked. And the UFC, we're gonna give you a top 10. Then I was very happy, and then ended up to being Damian Maia. I beat Damian Maia. And then I went in the top 5. And then that was when COVID started. Tyron Woodley supposed to fight Leon Edwards here. Not here, I mean, in the UK. That fight got canceled, everything shut down. And I was calling him out. I got the opportunity to fight him. I beat him, became #1 contender. Then I fought for the title, lost. And that was kind of like everything was going on. Then I fought Wonderboy, then I fought Hamza. And then I kept fighting all the tough guys.
Yeah, and I remember like when you were coming up against Damian Maia, a lot of people were saying you were very talented, but we didn't really see it from you because you were killing yourself at 155. Yeah. And I think that fight against Maia really showed, right?
Yes.
Like you were a top contender. Yes. I remember you were grappling with him. At some point he got you in the mount, you came out. Yeah. Like a minute later you knocked him out. It was a crazy moment, huh?
Yeah, I remember he was such a legend for me, and I always look up to him. It was actually hard to fight him. But I knew it. Like I was so prepared. I was training Wagner Russia with my brother. They were taking my back all the time. He ended up taking my back at one moment, and I got out very. I got out. It was not super easy, but I managed to get out. And then when I was on the feet again, I knew I had a chance to knock him out. And when I knocked him out, no one did before me. You know, he fought Kamaru. He fought. Tyron Woodley, he fought a lot of tough guys, and he was finishing everybody. And that was a big moment in my career. When I finished him, then I kind of put myself in the conversation to one more fight to fight for the title. That's what happened, but that was a big turn in my career.
Yeah. Like you said, you then fought Woodley, fought Usman. Unfortunately, that didn't go your way. Had a fight versus Wonderboy, and I think right after you had a fight versus Khamzat, right?
Yes.
This was, I think, for me, one of my favorite fights, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was born in Russia. Right after the bell rung, last bell rung, I thought you won the fight.
Yeah, no, a lot of people still talking. I mean, it's nothing I can do, right? The history was made already, was done. But everywhere I go, people remember that fight, you know, everybody. I think UFC took that fight out, but back and forth, they put that fight back on YouTube. And for 2 or 3 different times, they put it on, they take it out, they put it on. Was the fight with more views. Even though they take it out, sometimes when they put it back on, the views go crazy. So that's why like a lot of people recognize me where I go. So it was a war, it was a good fight. People still say it's half-half. People think that I won, the other thing. Yeah. But that's when it's a good fight, you know, when people are like, man, I think the other guy won. It was a very exciting fight. He opened a lot of doors, that fight.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I watched it back then, very 50-50, but I remember right after, I was like, Shit, I was rooting for Hamza. I'm not gonna be.
Yeah,
like,
no problem. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, this guy, big talent, you know. But I thought he lost. But you know, 50-50, like you said. We've talked about your past.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna look into the future.
Yes.
I think it was yesterday I saw a video of you saying that you want one name, Colby Covington.
Yep.
I think that's a fight that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I tried to make another run for the title, but I got a couple losses. The bodies, unfortunately, the bodies destroy. I'm fighting to stay healthy and training. That's what I love to do and compete. I still got 4 more fights on my contract. I don't think I'm doing all 4. I think I'm doing maybe 2, maximum 3 more fights. And but I want those to be a big fights, you know, memorable fights. Colby was always a guy that talks very much. It was all fights that I want. I don't think I got a lot of more fights, but I got a couple good fights to do. Colby will be an amazing name. But yeah, I think by December, January, I will do my next one. Just gotta go back, stay in shape, you know, take care of my injuries, and a couple more fights to do before we're done.
So you 2 to 3 fights you're thinking?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes, I'm 39, but
Yeah.
I've been in the highest level in sports since I was 16. You know, 16 I started competing a lot of jiu-jitsu, everywhere, every weekend, traveling, competing, traveling. And then when I was 25, I think, I transitioned to MMA. 28, I was in the UFC. So yeah, so freaking my whole life, you know, like training, competing, cutting weight, traveling, competing, cutting weight, training. So gotta take care of my family too, you know, gotta enjoy time with my family.
Of course. So you're training, of course, at KillCliff.
Yes.
A lot of different nationalities coming in.
Yeah.
A lot of Russians, Chechens, Dagestanis, Brazilians as well. I want to talk about the Chechens and Dagestanis for a little bit. There's a lot of Chechens, right, at KillCliff?
A lot, at least 5 or 6 at least.
Like, what do you think of these guys that come in? Do you think that they're really this good, or what is it that makes them this good?
I think they're very good, and I think the sambo helps, because with the sambo you do is kind of MMA, you know. For sure they have a couple of rules, but they have takedowns, they have ground and pound, they have striking. I think when you grow up already doing striking, takedowns, and grappling, you're gonna be a step ahead, you know. For sure the grappling is not pure grappling, but it's grappling with striking is MMA already. I think that's why these guys are coming, they already one step ahead of everybody, because the sambo competition, they have so many, the level is very good, and they have a lot of amateur competition too. So one guy that we were talking about, Ansa, he's the next guy. I think he's gonna, if he keep training, if he keep doing what he's doing, I think he can become a champion in a couple of years. We're just talking about him, 19 years old, a freaking monster, but he's a step ahead of everybody. You know, we have a couple 19 years old all over the world. They just on the computers, they like iPad, computer games. Bro, this guy is a monster already, high level. He said he fought sambo so many times. He go to these tournaments. It's not only jiu-jitsu, it's MMA, amateur, and he said on one day he does 5-6 fights, and next week again. So this guy compete over 100 times already, 19 years old. There's no way that guy's not a step ahead of everybody, because even those, I love the grappling, I love the wrestling, but it's not the same. This guy is doing MMA already, 19, 5 fights one day. That's why, like the Chechens, the Dagestani, those guys are kind of taking over. They're different, you know, because they're born different. No, they're born just like me and you and everyone else. But the competition, the level is so high that it's survival. You know, if you're surviving over there, you get out of there, your level is so high. I think that's why.
Yeah, and you're obviously a pioneer of Brazilian MMA.
Yep.
You're one of the legends. What do you think of the way that Brazilian MMA is developing right now? Because we got a lot of hyped fighters, fighting nerds, but also guys like Alex, Charles. So what do you think of the...
let's see how they're doing. That's why another call that I have, another thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to start becoming a manager whenever my career is all said and done. Because I think it's so many Alex Pereiras, Charles Oliveira's, Jose Altos, a lot of guys there, but it's not a lot of opportunity. You know, now with the government in Brazil being all left, the doors are just closing. He's a freaking guy. Just saw it right now. A guy from Fight Nerds, a high-level guy, very, very good. One of these guys' main partners, Ícaro Brito. I think he was going to fight next week in the Contender Series. His visa just got declined.
Again, I think that happened last year.
Yes, this
that
guy.
happened last year too.
He's supposed to be in the UFC where he has a UFC level. He was going to the Contender and his visa was declined. So that's what happened. So it's very hard in Brazil now with all the politicians fighting with the U.S. That thing's just going to get harder and harder. But then we got to build these guys up, you know. So we got to bring these guys to fight in Europe, these guys to fight in Brazil. They got to fight a lot of places and build, even though he's not on the UFC yet, but he travel all over the world. So in the U.S. knows, okay, this guy travel everywhere. Yeah. This guy can come. So that's when I think I'm going to come in try to make a change and make it easier for these guys to fight in Poland, the KSW, to fight Brave, all in the Middle East, to fight UAE Warriors, to fight LFA. And I think that's just going to help the fighters because it's getting harder now to get in the U.S. If you're Brazilian and you're freaking poor, you have no opportunity. The level to get on the highest level, you got to compete, so you got to go everywhere. If you're broke, it's hard, you know.
Yeah, you're right. I think that there's a lot of talent we just don't know about.
So many talent. Yeah, so many. I think the same thing in Russia, right?
For sure.
For sure, we have a lot of Chechen and Dagestani that amazing, but they cannot go to the U.S. They have no money.
But they're already like, if you're good, you get a lot of support. Like if you know, if you're with the right people, you get a lot of support. So maybe it's a bit less there for sure. But in Brazil,
I think same, honestly. I don't know, but yeah, I get it. In Brazil too, if you're very good, people are gonna try helping you. But sometimes you're very good, but you're not the best. They don't care about you. Yeah. Exactly. That's the guys that I wanted. That I think, if they get more infrastructure, if they get better coaches, if better food, better everything, those guys can become a champion. You know. So that's one call that I have that I really want to do, help these future fighters.
And out of now the new generation of Brazilian MMA fighters, who do you think is the best right now?
I was gonna say Rufi before the last fight. Now
I think that still could be said.
I still can be said, but he got a point to prove right now, right? Because the legend, the myth in Brazil was that his takedown defense was the best, but there's no one gonna take him down. The guy took him down with easy, but I don't care about the takedown. I think he's a thing. Oh, the guy never got taken down. I don't care. I'm a grappler. I want to see how you do when you're on the floor, how you behave. What do? You're going to give up your back. You're going to try to get up. Your defense is good. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I didn't see much. I see the guy easily mount and got his back. So I think a lot of things that he got to get better. So, but I like Diego Lopes. I like Jean Silva. I like that guy Ícaro Brito, just got the visa declined. Carlos Prates, I think, is going to be a monster. And we have another guy. It's one guy that just won the Contender Series 2 weeks ago.
Manuel Souza?
Barboza,
which one?
Marcio Barboza.
Yeah.
This guy is 145, a monster.
Yes.
He's been coming with 17 win streak, 17 finishes. On the feet, on the ground, this guy is a monster, Marcio Barboza. And we got so many newcomers. So yeah, I think they doing by themselves. You know, these guys just hustling. I think if you get maybe a PI in Brazil, maybe I think that's just going to a different level.
I think they should do it, to be honest. In Brazil, I think that's the best place. They have one in Mexico. I think in Brazil would much.
But Mexico is too close to the U.S.
Yeah.
I think it's easier for them to control. And even got burned, you know. Let's see my life as a manager if we can bring the PI to Brazil, you know, to help really maybe make an event to help those fighters and really try to make a difference in Brazil. That's one of the calls that I have after my career.
All right, Gilbert, I want to thank you for your time. Not take too much of your time.
That was great.
I want to thank you once again. You're one of my favorite fighters.
Thank you.
To step into the octagon, so thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully meet you soon.
Thank you, guys.